All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Quiet enough, man? All right. I'd like to start off by thanking you all for coming out here tonight. When I was sent the letter telling me that I was a recipient of this great award, I could not be more elated. I tend to be a student who grows very close with a great many of my teachers. I'm by no means someone who sits in the back of the class and slips by unnoticed. I'm told even my softest of whispers are louder than most people's loudest yells, and my hand just won't seem to stay down no matter how hard I may try to fight it. I've heard I'm somewhat of a notorious figure in faculty room lunch discussions, and from my very first day of school, it's rare that a teacher doesn't immediately tell me, as soon as they come face to face with me, that they know my tricks already, and that I won't be able to get any test answers out of them no matter how hard I try. So far, there hasn't been a single teacher I haven't broken, except for you, Miss Mazzarella. You're very tough. And I intend to keep my streak rolling through college. Annoying as my antics may be, in retrospect, I find myself truly blessed to be able to say I have extremely close relationships with so many of my teachers. The three teachers I have standing here next to me, Mrs. Masie, Mrs. Mannis, and Mrs. Raleigh, have each had an insurmountable amount of impact on my past, my present, and my future, and for that, I owe them the world. Coming from Mineola, I sadly missed the opportunity to attend Milburn School during my kindergarten year. Not many people here were fortunate enough to see what a unique and wonderful environment it was. Mr. Gray over there, he was my principal. Just a little shout out. It was extremely exclusive and was attended only by what, in my opinion, were the best of the best. It's all due to zoning, but don't tell me that. After all, I only had a graduating class of 16. My heart goes out to all the current kids of Central Baldwin, for they missed out on the greatest part of living in the overlooked land that isn't quite the harbor and not quite North Baldwin, as Milburn sadly closed a few years back. I still remember being in first and second grade and wanting nothing more than to hurry up and get to third grade, because I didn't know a single person that had Miss Masie who didn't agree that she was their favorite teacher by far, and the word on the playground set has a lot of pull, as I'm sure you all remember. I still remember summer of that year feeling more of a burden than a joy, because I just wanted to hurry up and get to her class to see if all the hype was really true. When September finally did roll around, I quickly realized that all the kids who said that she was the best teacher they ever had weren't being quite completely truthful. She was the best teacher anyone ever had. Despite the seemingly endless state test prep we were forced to do, she somehow still made every day of the year feel like the day before winter break. It made Monday mornings the best time of the week, for we could finally see her again after a weekend of comparative boredom. That's a bit of an exaggeration. Sorry. My father taught me to read before I reached kindergarten, and as such, I was always much farther ahead than my classmates in that department. Though it had its perks, I will never forget wishing I was dumb when my kindergarten used to send me alone into the coat closet. She was a terrible woman, not in this district, but she's not on her tonight. She used to send me alone into the coat closet to read The Gingerbread Boy by Jan Brett independently, while the rest of the class had a ball learning the ABCs together on the carpet. Needless to say, I always felt very different from everyone else, and despite their best intentions, my teachers always seemed to exasperate my isolation, rather than somehow try to use my abilities to bond with my classmates. That all changed with Miss Masie. When I was in her class, I no longer felt so different from everyone else in the room. It was perfectly comfortable, even rather proud to be able to sit and read Little House on the Prairie while everyone else was reading Goosebumps. You gave me the confidence to be able to be different without feeling alone, and still be able to interact and make friends with anybody, no matter how different we may have been. Skills I attribute to you to this very day. Back in the third grade, I obviously did not know much about college, but I always heard that Harvard was the place where smart people go, and I still clearly remember her telling me that I was going to go there one day, and to remember her when I was successful. As the year went on and pre-calculus obliterated any confidence in my abilities as a student, the Harvard dream was quickly lost, and the school became what I thought was a completely unrealistic goal for me. At around 11:58, the night college applications were due. I'm a procrastinator. I remembered Miss Masie's words to me all the way back in third grade. And at 11:59 p.m., I spent my $70 on the application fee and said, why not give it a shot? You'll sound smart for applying. I suppose I really do in large part owe it to you for planting that seed in my brain, because if you hadn't, I really do wonder if I would have passed up the chance of a lifetime simply because I didn't believe in myself. Now I'd like to fast forward to those horrendous 3 years that just about everyone would like to erase their memory, known as middle school. While in grammar school I was unique, by middle school standards I was just plain weird. Though I did get along with just about everyone very well, and don't have any real horror stories like most people do, I can still safely say that those were some pretty dark days. I can't exactly recall exactly what the context for me meeting you was, Miss Mannis, as it only really dawned to me as I was writing this that I never actually had you as a teacher before. As such, I don't know why I was on a field trip with you other than just pure fate and the fact that went on just about any field trip that was ever offered in this district. Within 10 minutes on the bus, I was always the kid who sat up in the front with the teachers. I knew we were going to be fast friends. Little did I know we would still continue to be 6 years later. Despite knowing nothing about me or having any real reason to give up some of your lunch period to eat with a student who wasn't even your own, you took me into your warm embrace anyway, and before I knew it, I was officially your mentee. When you came up to me in school and asked me if I would mind if I was your mentee, I didn't quite understand the question. I always thought that the kids were supposed to seek out the teachers. I absolutely adored you, and to think you would actually seek me out to do this was quite touching, to say the least. From that point forward, not only did I gain a mentor, I gained a friend. How lucky could you get to not only have a confidant that I could tell absolutely anything and everything to, but someone who would make me a batch upon batch of any dessert under the sun every time we would meet. She's a home ec teacher, so she's quite good at it. I cherished our times together more than you know, and I was quite sad knowing that as of June of 8th grade rolled in, our times were growing to a close. I should have known that it would take more than that to keep us apart. For when you asked me if I wanted to continue meeting up even as I went to high school, it was more of a relief than a surprise, to be honest. And just like the time you asked me if I wanted to be a mentor back in 6th grade, my answer was a resounding, duh, of course. Now that you're a full-time city dweller, I hope to know you can expect a call every time I return home from break to meet up for a day at the museum or in Central Park. Though you know my animosity towards Broadway is quite strong, for you I'll open my mind up enough to go to a show. Don't worry. Now, I always heard from everyone that high school will be the best 4 years of my life. But now that I'm almost finished with it, the same people are now telling me college will be the best 4 years of my life, so I don't know who to believe. But I must say that if college is any more fun than this, I can't imagine getting much work done there. I can't talk about my high school career without talking about my business academy career, because they're basically one and the same. All of my best friends were made the very first day at Mr. Kelly's Computers for the 21st Century class back in freshman year. He's right over there. And to this very day, if one of us is looking for someone else, we don't have to bother texting, where are you? Because we could just walk into the business office. There's a 99.99% chance they'll be there. It wasn't until this year that I was actually in one of Miss Raleigh's classes. But from being president of FBLA, a club she advised Mr. Kelly, going on one of 64,000 Business Academy trips a year, going to her in a state of panic about the speeches I would need to make during each one, and generally never being further than 5 feet away from her for more than 45 minutes at a time, I got to know her quite well, to say the least. It has been said that friendship isn't about who you've known the longest, it's about who walked into your life and said, I'm here for you, and proved it. And that seems to sum Miss Raleigh up to a T. I'm rather old-fashioned and like to keep my school and personal spheres separate, and I think she's very much the same. But I guess we're each just the right key to open up each other's can of worms, because I, as well as my 2 best friends, have absolutely zero qualms coming to you about things we're even afraid to come to each other about. We know that our secrets are not only safe with you, but you'll find a way to take absolutely any situation, turn it on its head, and make us crack up laughing with deadpan answers that can solve just about anything, but are only okay coming from your mouth. We share the same views, the same mean streak when we can't stand someone, the same propensity for trying to help just about anybody out, even the truly helpless. But I can only hope to one day have a heart large enough to have even a tenth of your generosity, faith, love, and indomitable spirit of forgiveness. I look up to you in more ways than you can imagine, and I hope that you could look past my admittedly stone-cold exterior and see just how much you mean to me. You wanted me to cry tonight, but it's not happening. Though I'm going far away from both my homes, 930 Merrick Road and room 422, her office, my heart will forever be in both places. I'm not sure if you realize how serious I am when I say expect you to FaceTime me and prop your phone up in the middle of Miss Van Hazel's desks and just leave it there all day. Though I can't compare it to being there literally 6 periods in a row on some days, it might make leaving a little bit easier. I'm going to miss you more than words can say, but I don't have a shadow of doubt in my mind that we'll continue to see each other through just about everything for the rest of our lives, and I can't wait. Well, I hate to play favorites, folks, but I guess here they are. Thank you for listening, and for all the teachers in the audience, thank you for absolutely everything you do. The world would be quite a dark place without you all, and I really appreciate it.